we're going to be talking about communication thereof and how perspective can save you from a whole bunch of arguments, especially from those who don't want to listen. Let's get into it. Now, when I first thought of this, I was talking to myself yesterday and I was in a very deep talk session. And I was like, you can really avoid so many types of arguments, especially with people who don't want to see your point of view. And what's funny is the fact that it always comes down to this one thing. Both of you are right. Y'all are only arguing about the how and why. The what y'all can agree on, the why and how is what y'all cannot agree on. Basically, y'all both want the best for y'all children, but you want to go away. You want to go a specific type of way based on your experiences, and she, he, they, them want to go a different type of way based on their experiences. The issue is none of you admit that you both are right, and none of you admit that they ain't wrong. That's where the issue lies in it. This is not a battle of who's right or wrong. This is a battle of, no, this is not a battle at all. This is a communication about preference. Meaning if you prefer your child to basically bathe in hot, not even hot water, in lukewarm to mildly hot water, because you know based on your experience that for you, warm water is able to heal your skin, valid. But if your partner or anyone else, no, if your partner says that they want your child to basically bathe in lukewarm to slightly colder water because of the fact that it helps with the production of the brain system and how a child is able to breathe because of their respiratory system, that's valid too. The issue comes in when both of you, I wouldn't even say when both of you can't admit that y'all are, the other one is right. No, scratch that. Let me go and articulate this so I can get my words out. The issue isn't that y'all are not able to admit that y'all are wrong. The issue is you cannot admit when you are right. You cannot admit when the other person is right. That's where the issue entails in. Because you can admit when you're wrong on a situation to yourself, but you'll never admit that that other person was right. And there are people who strongly feel like this, which is why their life is the way that it is, which is why they are constantly getting into arguments, which is why they leave those arguments, which is why there are so many family members, friends, all the such, and etc. who have spite towards them. Not because that person is wrong, sometimes they are right, but because that person just ignores that other person's point of view. Especially in a debate, that's how a debate can turn into an argument. When one or both parties of an argument tend to ignore each other's perspectives. Meaning, and I will reiterate this, both of you can be right in a debate. But when it gets to the point where you're basically like, I'm right, you're wrong because of this, that, and the third, and the other person says, I'm right, you're wrong because of this, that, and the third, that's what the issue entails. Because both of you are right, and this is only a preference based on each of y'all experiences. And because of that, especially to those of you who can see from another person's perspective, that is why you cannot argue with people like this. End the argument off as quickly as you can, no matter what they say. Because those are the type of people who do not have your best interests for you. And those are the type of people who do not care. Because they would rather argue instead of admitting that you're right. And the people who cannot say outright that you are right, those are the type of people that you have to stay away from. Because those who cannot admit that you're right and that they are wrong, and I'm not saying that they are wrong, but I'm saying, especially in debates where there is no right or wrong, this is about preference. When a person cannot admit that your point of view is valid, that's when you have to leave. Because no one, and I do mean no one, is gonna get what they want out that situation. You two will constantly butt heads over and 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 over again, to the point where someone will cross a line and both of y'all are split up. And this is that type of dynamic that can destroy families, that can destroy friendships, that can destroy so many partnerships, because a person to themselves, not to that person, but to themselves, cannot admit when another is right. And they try to play it, and I do mean play it, like they are the ones that are always right in the situation. That's how you get constant discourse in the situation. So for people like that, I advise you that you constantly, and I do mean constantly, separate from that person. Because those are the type of people who do not value your opinion and who do not value your perspective. And those are the type of people that when hard times come, they're gonna be the ones that be like, this is right no matter what you say. When this is nothing but freaking preference. That is how you can have people in a healthy way. Let's flip the script. That's how you can have people in a healthy way that be like, we both disagree on this. At the same time, we can reach a compromise. Or if you make that choice for yourself, I'll be okay with it. Even though I disagree with it, I'm gonna be okay with it because I cannot control you. I control me and you control you. That is where that situation comes in at. But when it's one that requires partnership, especially in creative endeavors, and this is one where I've seen James Gunn and the actor for Superman, because they wanted to both convey the same exact emotional hit for that particular scene at the end of Superman. But the way that they go about it, most people would think that's an argument. But those who know, they know that's just like a conversation to understand how to go about it. Like both of their views on it are not wrong. But it takes clarity in how each and every person see that particular scenery and that particular event, person, etc., no matter what it is, how that person views a particular situation and how they interpret it for them to come to an agreement, to hemisync, to peace. And when you realize that, now you start to see that conversation in a different light, especially when James Gunn was like, it is okay to feel bad. He is letting him know that it is okay to feel that way. Not to say that he's right or he's wrong, but to convey a perspective that he has. It may have looked a bit harsh, but it got the point across. To the point where when you see that Superman scene now, it hits. And to those, again, to those of you who can see the other person's perspective, but no one else wants to see your perspective, separate and distance yourself. Do not even waste your breath. Those people do not value you the way that you are supposed to be valued. Because if they did, they would take you into consideration. That is a fact. Separate for yourself, take care of yourself until the point that you can leave. For those of you who are of the younger generation, for those of you who are older, who are capable, who have the resources right now to go and leave, especially if you're with a toxic parent, toxic partner, toxic friend group, even a toxic workplace, leave. You'll be in a way peaceful headspace. Leave. Contentment should not risk this and this. Because when these two are undervalued, that's when you are unfulfilled in life. Meaning you can be the richest and wealthiest person in the entire world. But if these two and all of this isn't healed, you won't even be able to enjoy it. So again, choose the right people who, when you both are in a disagreement, are able to see and acknowledge each other's points of views. Meaning, hey, I know you feel like this because of this, that, and the third. But can you consider this? Or, but what about this, that, and the third? And that's how conversations can be expressed in a healthy way, shape, form, and manner without it getting emotional. And even if it is emotional, you know what the root cause of it is because y'all both gain clarity. And because of that, now you both don't hold resentment for each other. And that's another thing people don't talk about. After arguments, is there resentment or is there still love? Because if there's resentment and y'all constantly have those arguments, it's gonna get to the point where a line is gonna be crossed and both of you are gonna be separated. But if it's just love and those are points that both of y'all are sitting on being like, let's see if we can try this, let's see if we can try that, especially with your spouse, and y'all both just sitting in bed and y'all thinking about it. But y'all ain't thinking about how it made y'all feel. Y'all thinking about their point of view and how you could compromise or they could compromise. And y'all both, without realizing it, are just bouncing back and forth with ideas in each of y'all individual heads. Then guess what? The next morning or later that evening, y'all come back and be like, hey, I'm sorry that I may have came off of this, that, and the third. Let's talk this out. Let's work this out. Boom. Like that. That is how you handle situations as an adult. You don't suppress your emotions, but you don't let it control you to fuel your words. That's the kicker. You make it clear your point of view. You don't be upset because a person cannot interpret what you want. You state clearly exactly what you want without hiding it, without beating around the bush, without using a seed or something else that is unrelated to the true issue to fuel that rage, to fuel that emotion of unseen, that feeling of unseenness, to fuel that negative emotion inside of you or your partner to the point where a disagreement now becomes an argument. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Once you're able to see from another perspective, you're able to be, and I experienced this time and time again, 2 to 3 times with the police, one time in Walmart with an angry old man, and another person with family issues. And I'm not even finna get into that. Every single time I've always come out with a peaceful mind and a peaceful head because I was able to see that person's perspective and I didn't once attempt to argue. Sometimes I did, sometimes, but only when my emotions got out of whack. And even still, the next time that same event happened, if not stronger, I was able to manage my emotions. And I was able to see from that perspective, and I was able to come out that argument and to bring it down to a disagreement to the point where now I'm basically in a happier movement. And basically, I'm gonna come in with this. A strong example. Like, I didn't even get to tell this story. So boom, I wake up, I go to Walmart. It's 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, possibly 9. And I'm thinking, oh, let me just ask for a freaking quarter. I got bored and I was like, screw it. If people are gonna give it to me, people are gonna give it to me. So I go around asking. Didn't even know it was against Walmart policy. Keep that in mind. Now, I walk around, I'm asking people. All of a sudden, this random old man come around talking about something. Did you ask my wife for a quarter? I'm like, yes. And then he just started going off at me. I didn't even argue. Because number one, too early in the morning. I ain't finna raise my voice at you. And number two, I know that something probably upset you or this, that, and the third, or you feel a certain type of way. And if that's the case, I'm gonna separate from you and I'm gonna keep it at that. So that's what I did. And tell me why he was just following me, just being like, is this blah, 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 is this man following you? He's been actually blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Got the workers involved. And guess what? Respect, I don't know who you are. The masculine But bro, straight up, that dap was necessary. I told him, come here. I'm like, hey, it's early in the morning. I ain't got time for this. You ain't got time for this, so I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna let you handle this because I already know. We dap that up. I go over there. Then two other Walmart workers, which are both ladies, they come and talk with me, and we have an adult conversation. They let me know that it's against their policy to basically ask, just to ask. And again, I didn't argue with that. I was like, okay, I didn't know. I apologize. And she said, if I want donations, I can go to the front. And I was like, bet. So boom, I go and leave. I'm finna go and pay for my bread, my pie. All of a sudden, both of them ladies called me over being like, hey, here's $5. Because here's the thing, they didn't know why I was asking for the quarters because I was just asking. But both of them gave me $5 each. And that's just one example of how you can handle a situation and you can get something from it. Sometimes you don't get something from it, and the only thing you maintain is your peace. Because I guarantee you, I was gonna leave that store with just bread and a pie. Because again, I was like, okay, I got as much as I did from that little experiment. Let me go ahead and leave. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't finna trip about it. And yet from the kindness of their heart, they blessed me. They gave me a miracle that day. Because you just don't know. When you're able to manage your emotions and your mental state, you just don't know what that unlocks for you. Meaning, the next time that you may get into an argument of some sorts, take the time to, number one, see from that person's perspective, number one. And number two, realize and acknowledge whether a person is acknowledging your perspective or whether a person is completely ignoring it and just saying how they feel without even acknowledging your perspective or your point of view. And once you're realizing that, once you're able to realize that, even if you feel a certain type of way, and that's the thing, you will feel a certain type of way, but at the same exact point, and at the same exact time, you also know that that person isn't gonna value you the way that you deserve to be valued. Meaning when you walk away, you're able to recover way quickly. Meanwhile, that same exact person, they're going through their own type of chaos. And it shows. Don't think that it don't. Whether it's externally or internally, the amount of conflict that a person goes through shows. And the amount of success that a person, because you don't have to win an argument to win an argument. Let that be said. You do not have to win an argument to win an argument. One more time. You do not have to win an argument to win an argument. As long as your mind, your heart, your spirit and soul, your mental state and everything else is intact. And that person still heated this, that, and the third, to feel smug, this, that, and the third. And you chilling, then hey, you won. Because at the same exact time, it didn't change how you feel about the situation. It didn't change your point of view. It didn't change your needs or necessities. It didn't change none of that. And once you realize that, now you make the decisions that are right for you. So again, conversate with those who are willing to see your perspective. Conversate with those who are willing to admit that you are right too. Conversate with those who, when they are wrong, are willing to admit when they're wrong. Because those are the type of people you should cherish in your life. And me, because of my extremist type of behavior, I intend to cut off all family members. I don't know when, where, or how, but that's the point in my life that I'm in right now. I know that no matter how many times I may try to say my point of view, they tend to not see where I'm coming from. So I don't waste my breath. I continue to work until I'm able to go from here. Other than that, minimum contact. Keep your brain safe. I'm gonna leave it at that. How many? Man, we've been on here for, let's see. Boy, we've been on here for 20 minutes. You know what? Pause for a little intermission. Let's see. Hello, what's good, Arneely? Kate, what's goody? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, since nobody else commented. All right. Know your value, especially in a disagreement, in an argument, in a debate. If you're able to debate something and have a disagreement, know that there are no hard feelings. But when it blows up into an argument, reassess yourself, reassess your mental state, your emotional state. See if that person is taking your perspective into consideration. If they are not, leave. If they are, have that hard conversation. And I'm gonna end it like that. And to address it, Doc Senior. Well, to you I say, I wish that guy could make you happy. If you think a job can make you happy, then you get that 50-hour work week. But me, I'm gonna enjoy my millions in the bank. And as always, stay peaceful, blessed up, miracled up. You know that you'll well appreciate what's taken care of. I guarantee you, y'all probably don't know about it. Hold on, wait a minute. Before I leave, I am gonna do this. I swear to God. Like, when I get to that point, I'ma still dress like this on purpose. I'ma do somebody like this. Like, have y'all ever had that moment that y'all wanna try a Bugs Bunny moment? Like, I don't know why, but I love when other people think I can't. I love that. I don't know why, but I do. Because that just gives me a leeway to prove a point to you. But I can't believe I acknowledged that freaking comment. Well, congratulations, Doc Senior. You got my attention. And you lost it. And as always, stay peaceful, blessed up, miracled up, and know that you will appreciate what's taken care of. By divine and wonderful Allah high source, guide us was everyone that truly and genuinely and deeply cares about you deeper than the souls. Always remember that here you are loved. We care about you here if no one else does. We do. I do. Know that no matter what, we are always here to give you that listening ear. Don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't be afraid to talk with us. We're always here to give you that listening ear. We're always here to care for you the way that you deserve to be cared for. Community tab is always on my YouTube. Hit it up, especially if you need somebody to talk to. We'll see your perspective. We'll see where you're coming from. We won't treat you any other way. You deserve the love, the respect, and the glory that you deserve as a human being. Always remember that. Love yours and love yourself, okay? Don't forget to smile, okay? Okay? Okay! Now come in for this hug. Yeah, come in. Now, I need it. And there's always a shape he said adios. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Doc Senior, thank you. Look at this. Look at this. This is a perfect example for everyone. Doc Senior, you are the sacrificial lamb. This is a perfect example of people trying to get you out your character. This is a perfect example, Doc Senior. Hey, thank you. I don't know if you in here or not, but thank you because you are now the sacrificial lamb. This is what happens when you are constantly talking and you have people do this online. This is what happens, especially when you keep talking. This is what happens. So yeah, he didn't get that satisfaction. But you did get acknowledgement. Here's your cookie. Oh, there is none. Get a bookie. Boy.